What's up, everyone, and welcome to ClearTalk. In this video, we're going to be talking about um, the United States and how we are being seen and considered on the global stage. Because while the United States has held on to global dominance basically for almost a century now, or pretty much a century now, it's becoming more and more apparent to other countries, many of our allies, and many others, that they that us being that global dominance, and everybody kind of just going along with it, um, they can't contend with that anymore because of the actions of this regime, of the Trump regime. So we're going to talk about that, and and I'm gonna give my opinion about it. So thank you very much for joining me here on Clear Talk. If you are new here, welcome to Clear Talk. First of all, thank you for coming. If you would like to check out more videos from the channel, please do so. Consider subscribing, like, share, comment, all that good stuff to get more videos from more people. If you'd like to check out videos from the rest of the channel, rest of my channels, JMDPLAY, puzzling there. Um, if you like what you see there, consider subscribing to those. That would be amazing. If you want to go to check out Patreon there, $3 a month, you can support any of the channels you would like, or support Patreon or JMD Nation, contribute however you would like to. Any contributions and support you give is very much appreciated. I thank you very, very much. And if you're returning, you are freaking amazing. You are the shit, and I welcome you back. Thank you back. Thank you back. Thank you for coming back over and over and over again. Yeah, because you're our JMD Nation. All right. It's becoming more and more apparent because of the actions of this administration, the actions of Trump himself, um, that we are on the global scene. While you hear all the rhetoric from the administration that, oh, we're respected, we're so respected, we're the most respected country in the world, we are amazing, everybody loves us, we were a dead country, and now we're so fucking alive, we're so alive, we're high up in the sky, um, and it's just all utter bullshit. Just like in the first administration of Trump, when all the actions, the ridiculous actions he made even then, we were a joke. Trump's first administration was a joke. And now the second administration has become an even bigger joke. A whole just clown show of nonsense and aggression and that is just quite honestly pissing everybody off. And you see, we've had this world order where it's pretty much since World War II, but especially since the Cold War, that the United States was the global superpower. That we have the reserve currency. Everybody backs on us. Everybody to some degree allows a reliance to us because we wanted to be that big. We wanted to be that big power that kind of, to some degree, uh, protects those that we, are allied to, in return for goods and services and like, if, because, whenever somebody needed something, we wanted them to come to us because it helped us stay in that sort of dominance figure. The idea was for us an advantage because it allowed us to stay dominant. It allowed us to stay on the top, and not really have anybody so much like push against us or feel the need to go against us or to become larger than us, so to speak. So a lot of countries have went along with this for a while. Okay, America wants to be the big bad and, the have everything, the biggest military, and the reason why we have the biggest military is so, because to protect everybody. Because the idea is we didn't really want all these other countries, even our allies, to really have massive militaries. Because if we ever did something to piss them off, we ever did, or if they ever chose to no longer want to really work with us, then we'd have an opposition. So if it worked for us to just be like, don't worry about, if you ever need any help. That was the point of NATO, was to gain allies, to have a organized groupings of countries, specifically in the northern hemisphere, where we would be the most worried about, um, to band together in protection. Like, look, if and it also worked for us for any other major, like, opposition to the US, aka, like, Russia has always been sort of an opposition to some degree. China has kind of been an opposition to some degree, at least on the scale of, they have never really been interested in having a, like, coalition. They've always had the opinion to be independent and not really depend on anybody. Um, so therefore, they didn't. There was no interest by, like I said, the likes of Russia, and China, and a few others, to really have that kind of, to become a part of something like NATO or whatever. Um, and they have their own uh, military mights, obviously, where a lot of these other countries that we have been, allied with and a part of NATO, they don't really have the, like, they do have military forces and military means, but it's fairly limited. I mean, especially in comparison to us, in comparison to Russia, in comparison to China, or it just, but that was the point, was for them to just not worry about it. Look, if you have any aggression from any of these that we keep an eye on, that we will be the ones to take care of that. We will assist and help you. Okay, that way we always had a foot in all this, in any area, even outside of the United States, in areas that we had interest in or wanted that protection to be. We had full dominance in that. That, yes, you have the well, you sure have the means to, like, c- take care of minor things, but if anything major comes your way, we've got your back. And that's the way it's been, and that's the way these countries have shaped their, um their existence around, really, for the past 50 to 75 years or so. While they knew that, if the United States suddenly went fucking rogue, that this could be potentially harmful, and so they have plans in place. They have things that on the back foot, upon, little extra plans in their bottom drawer, that if something ever was to go crazy, this is what we'll do. Okay. And this order has been working and worked for us for a while. Again, it's what helped us to have the, um, world currency, reserve currency, which allows us to, obtain debt like crazy, and it's all backed by everybody else, because it's all, nobody worries about it. We don't worry about it. It's the reason why debt's theoretically not even a big deal for the United States. It's because the dollar is the default for most of the world. But we also know that if that were ever to change, then all this debt that we've accrued with all these other countries, well, I mean, payday is due. So the idea is for that to not happen, really. We go unabated by the debt because of that. And that's the reason why it's always been the idea to just take care of these countries. Take care of everybody that we can. To have the most positive influence that we can where we can, or at least that's was the original idea. But as we've had, you know, more and more pressure and more of the government and our politicians and stuff move further right, move more warmongery, move and be concerned with taking over resources and taking over regimes that they don't like because they don't, work with us very well because we, have caused problems for them. All the sanctions that we put on everybody, like all these kinds of things, all this that we've done to many countries to piss them off. This has all put us in a situation where it's been it's become not of our interest to do I mean, it was always not of our interest to do these things, but it causes problems with relationships and and people trusting us to not intervene. I mean, the whole point in the Monroe Doctrine that we talked about, before, that this administration keeps trying to refer to, but they've, but Trump is like changed it to the Monroe Doctrine because it's his interpretation of it, is his or alteration to it, his version of it. But the whole idea was non-interventionism, to stay to ourselves, to stay out of other people's business, and just control our own hemisphere and protect our own hemisphere. But now this has been completely obscured and changed to more of a dominance, empowerment. The reason why all these countries that we've talked about are in play for, conquering, taking over, upending regimes, removal of their, sovereign leaderships, annexing countries, to the point that our administration is even releasing memes and shit of pictures of the Western Hemisphere with the American flags all over the fucking place. This like trolling of, yes, we're going to own Canada, we're going to own Greenland, we're going to own all of Mexico, and the whole technate that we talked about the other day. It is clownish at this point. It is absolutely clownish, unserious, but yet concerningly serious. To the point that Trump goes to Davos this past week as a means to try to persuade or actually not even persuade, threaten countries across EU to basically force them to let us just have Greenland. And there was so much pushback because Trump, threatened all these tariffs on all these countries. Supposedly, I mean, he even threatened Norway, and claimed that the reason why he was going at Norway is because, his obsession with him being denied, not given the Nobel Peace Prize, even though Norway doesn't have anything to do. The government itself doesn't have anything to do with the Nobel Peace Prize. It's completely separate. But yet he still, coerced the woman who got the Nobel Peace Prize, who, quite frankly, in my opinion, should not have gotten it at this point. That was probably a regretted decision by the organization. But she just gave it to him. A man in a regime that is constantly talking about how men shouldn't be taking women's awards, but yet Trump pretty much coerced her into having him take it when he didn't deserve it. He's done nothing to deserve a Nobel Peace Prize, or any peace prize for that matter. He has not stopped any wars. He threatens every fucking body. He's bombed multiple countries, kidnapped leaders, threatened to annex countries, supported a fucking genocide. This man doesn't deserve a peace prize. And then turns around in all irony and creates a board of peace. Invitations to leaders around the world, to countries who are like authoritarian or like some of the least peaceful leadership in the world. It is comical at this point. It is clownish. It is absolutely pathetic and ridiculous. It's laughable. This administration is completely laughable. A board of peace with the likes of like Netanyahu, a genocidal maniac, the leader of Hungary, who is known for, all kinds of stuff there in that country. Even Putin was given an invitation. The man that's bombing the fuck out of a sovereign country himself and invaded it, or attempted to invade it. And multiple others. With Trump at the top. With Trump at the top of the helm, the kingmaker, permanent leader. And with an agreement, a treaty that cannot be altered at any point. It's set in stone and cannot be changed, cannot be amended. Again, with Trump as kingmaker, with the power to allow nations in or not allow them in, to kick them out, to veto things, to bring up decide what's important, what's not important. He is the ultimate kingmaker. But he goes to Davos. And after they basically are telling him, more than likely, to fuck off. Matter of fact, our deal, our trade deal that we gave you when you wanted to be a bitch about your tariffs and stuff, actually, you know what? We canceled that. We're not doing that deal anymore. The stock market plunged when he made all those announcements about Greenland and the tariffs with the taco effect, which now has become just, hilariously funny for the market. Matter of fact, one could now argue that the market completely controls Trump because of his obsession with the market and the economy looking like it's good through the market anyways. That whenever the market and people want to control something or change Trump's mind, all they do is the taco effect. They let everything fall, and then Trump goes, never mind. I take it back. Because Trump always chickens out when it comes to the market. So now it's literally become their power over Trump. All they got to do is drop it, and Trump goes, so he backed off the tariffs. Between the market and the EU going, fuck off. Now he's completely let Greenland go, at least for now. It's a clown show. It's laughable. All of it's laughable. But what did you accomplish in this? What did you accomplish in any of that? You've accomplished what? Just pissing everybody off and everybody realizing that, you know what? The United States is so fucking berserk. We can't trust them anyway. We cannot trust them anymore. So we've got to go with our own plans. We've got to separate ourselves. And it's the reason why the EU is now, really not having a problem with increasing their military budgets and getting, what they need together to not worry about calling on the United States anymore because they don't trust us. Why you have Canada and Carney made an amazing speech at Davos, basically saying, you know what? The old world order is dead. Meaning the United States controlling everything is dead. Now there is going to be an ushered in new world order. And while Trump thinks the new world order is him being in control of everything, everybody else has a different idea about that. And the new world order is actually, what? We're going to take care of ourselves. We're going to do and manage deals for ourselves, no longer worrying about whether or not the United States is okay with it or not. All of our allies basically going, fuck you. We got it. We don't need you anymore. And many of them falling to the likes of like China. And why are they doing that? You're going, oh no, China, they're such a crazy ass. No, actually, they're the ones that's being civil. Regardless of their, communist ways, they're the ones being civil. They're the ones that are not sitting here trying to threaten everybody. Matter of fact, they are instead trying to do diplomacy with everybody. How can we work? How can we trade? They are doing business with all kinds of people now. Everybody, where once we were the dominant trader and had trading relationships and stuff with countries all over the world, we were dominating that. Now, China's the one dominating that. Because we've pissed off everybody. Trump pissed off all kinds of countries all over the world with his tariff stuff and, threats of we're not going to do trade with you anymore or we're going to, make you pay this or whatever and blah, 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 blah. That all they did was turn around and just China said, hey, are they being bad? Are they being bad? Come over here. We're good. We'll treat you better. Because we're not crazy like that. And so that's what's happening. The United States is completely losing their footing on the international stage, has lost all respect, has lost all trust with anyone, with all of our allies, pretty much. Like true allies, not like the bullshit allies where we're just trying to control a region and we're allying with people to control that region that's, has a bunch of opposition to us. I'm talking about actual allies, people that we've been working with and trading with and, have had good relationships with for years, for decades. We're ruining all that. Trump is ruining all that. Walking around like a petulant, pissy, petty ass child, whining and crying that he isn't getting his way. Or acting like a mob boss, like he controls everybody and all he has to do is, hey, you, do what I say. Or you gonna get, you gonna get it the hard way. This regime is creating a situation that the United States is going to it's going to take decades for us to fix if we can ever fix it. It will more than likely never be the same. And Carney said as much. The old world order is dead. It will never come back. The United States being the world, control is never coming back. They will all be handling things on their own without worrying about the United States, without holding the United States as like some sort of a supporting actor or a parent figure. That's done. It's over. They're rinsing themselves of the United States. And this is going to be felt by everybody for years to come. We're going to reap that. And it's Donald Trump and his regime, the warmongers and just ignorance that is in this administration. The MAGA hard alt-right Republican opinion and like way of governance is ruining the standing of the United States on the world scene. And you know what? Good for them. Good for all them countries, honestly. Because, I mean, if I were them, I wouldn't trust us either. I wouldn't trust us one bit. And the ramifications of this, I don't know if anybody can foresee what this is going to cause for us on the geopolitical scale, on the world economic scale. Like, we truly could start seeing some major changes that are more than likely going to be detrimental to our society, to the ordinary people. And unfortunately, it's honestly just going to be to make those in power think that oh shit, now we are even more threatened, and so they're just going to go even more haywire on building more and more and becoming more and more of an actual lethal threat. Like that's going to be their mentality. Instead of backtracking and be like, you know what, holy shit, we've gone too far in this direction, and people, clearly don't like this. The aggression, the threats, the might. Instead of being like, nah, we've went too far, we need to step back. No, they're going to be like, fuck it, we got to go even further. Everybody's mad at us. They're going to be coming for us. We got to go further. We got to stay ahead. And it's going to be a never-ending run to the finish line of how much of a threat one might can be. The $1 trillion budget that we have now, the 1.5 trillion budget that they are proposing for 2027. Oh, that's not the end. It's going to be fucking 3 trillion by 2028 because we're going to be so goddamn afraid of what's happening that we're going to think that we need just, ridiculous amounts of everything to be the most fierce and mightiest and scariest nation in the world to keep everybody at bay. And that's the way that's the mentality they're going to keep and hold. The New World Order is here, and it's not what we would have liked. Um, we've got to get these clowns out of office. We got to get these clowns out of Washington. We need to get these clowns out of power, out of influence, out of everything. They need to be so embarrassed and so exposed that they never have a chance of gaining power ever again. They need to be locked up. They need to be sworn out. And what I don't impeached, I don't care. Anything to get them all out. Sick of the lies. I'm sick of the racism. Sick of the opposition, like terrorizing the I can't even think of the terms that that can define these things. Like, I'm sick of all of it. But what do you think? Let me know what you think about this. Till next time, peace. Clear Talk. I'm out.